Hi guys, welcome back. Today we will learn about the last part of the advertisement, which is the manufacturer specific data or the vendor specific data. In order to include vendor specific data in the advertisement packet, what we need to do we will see in this tutorial. So first let's cover the basics of programming, and then we will start doing the programming. Sometimes we can also add some vendor specific data in the advertisement packets. It can be used in devices such as iBeacons. So we can use the manufacturer specific data, and we can add it in our advertisement packets for your custom applications. So this makes BLE really flexible in this case. So we have to be very careful when adding the manufacturer specific data, because in the advertisement packet we know that we have a limited packet size. So we have to make sure the data is not more than our packet size. The vendor specific data, it should be greater than or equal to at least 2 bytes. So it should not be 1 byte, or it should be at least 2 bytes or greater than 2 bytes, 3 bytes, 4 bytes, 5 bytes, or 6 bytes, whatever data you want to include. So how to include the manufacturer specific data in the advertisement packet? So first of all, we are going to create a variable of type BLEADV data manufacturer data underscore T, and then we will give it a name. So this variable will be of type manufacturer data T, and we also need to define an array of our data that we need to include. So for example, I want to include 5 bytes of data, then I would create an array, and the manufacturer specific data will point to this array. So we need to define an array of data in which we will be using in our application. The second step is we have to set the company identifier. Now we have to set the manufacturer specific data. So first of all, we have to set the company identifier. For your information, and the Nordics company identifier is 0x0059. And similarly, we have many other companies like Apple. They also have their specific ID identifier. If you want to get this identifier for your company, you need to check the BLE's official website and the Bluetooth official website, and you have to buy this identifier, and then you can add this custom identifier value. For the Nordic devices, they have 0059. So in our case, I will be just adding the 0059 because my device is from Nordic. So if you want to buy this identifier, you have to contact the Bluetooth organization, and then you can ask them the details about this. So they will allot you a specific number, and then you can have this company identifier. And the next thing is we have to point to the data. So as you know, the array name itself is basically the pointer which points to the first. So we are just going to assign this to this pointer, and the last thing we need to do is we have to tell the data size. For that we will use a function which is a size of and then our array name, and it will calculate the size of the array, and then it will pass to this. Now next thing we need to do is in our structure in advertisement, init.adv data .p manufacturer specific data, and here we have to point it toward it. So we have to use and then our manufacturer specific data, which will point to this, and it will contain all of our data. And finally we will initialize our BLE advertisement, and once the advertisement is initialized, then we can start the advertisement, and then we can transmit the advertisement data, which contains the manufacturer specific or vendor specific data. If we see the structure, we have two values. One is a 16-bit and one is the array, which is the data. And this array is basically what we defined in the previous slide. We have seen that, and this is the manufacturer specific or the vendor specific, and here in this case it's a 0059. So that's it for the basics of the manufacturer specific data. And now we are going to do the programming part, and in programming, let's see how we can send this manufacturer specific data. Okay, now we are going to start the programming for the last part of the advertisement, which is the manufacturer specific advertisement data. And let's start it. So let's go into this PC, and then go into the C directory. Here we have nRF SDK. Go into the examples, go into my projects, and let's copy the base project here once more, because we will use the base application project for our advertisement. And let's name it as let's open this, and let's go into the PC of 10056 because I'm using nRF52840, and go into S140. Here is the Sagar Embedded Studio folder, and here is the EM project file. Let's open this up and let's zoom in a little bit. And now here we have the advertisement initialization function, and here we are going to include our manufacturer specific data. So in order to include the manufacturer specific data, first we need to create an array. So for that I will create an array. This will be your data that you want to show on the advertisement packet. Let's make it as unsigned integer 8. Let's name it as a vendors advertisement data, and let's transmit 6 bytes of data. Let's set the bytes for the data. So here I will just randomly put the bytes like so. This is my custom or the manufacturer specific data that I will include in the advertisement packet. 1 2 3 4 5 6 bytes of data. Now in order to include it, we need to define a structure for the manufacturer specific data. So that structure we have already discussed about that structure in the presentation slides. Now let's see it. It's BLE ADV data, manufacturer specific data. For that we write this, and we will get the manufacturer specific data underscore T, and let's name it as mspec data, which means manufacturer specific data or the vendor specific data. Now let's initialize it. So the first value will be mspec data. The first value here is the company identifier. So the company identifier is unique for every company. For Nordic it's 0x0059, and for other companies, for example for Apple it's 004C. So for Apple devices you will see it in there. If you are connecting to Apple devices, you will see this 0x004C, 0x004C, but our device is Nordic, so it's 0x0059. From a Bluetooth organization we can buy this. The second thing we need to do is we have to point to the data. So for that, data dot pdata, and in the pdata we have to point it. So here is our data, so we will just put it here, paste it here, and because it's an array, so in the name itself is a pointer. So the next thing here is mspec data dot data dot size, and we can directly mention the size, but I won't recommend you that, but just to use this function, because sometimes you can increase or decrease the size of the manufacturer specific data. So the size would be this one, so size of, and then here we will put that array once more, the vendors advertisement data, and now the initialization of the data is finished. Now the next thing we need to do is we have to include it. So in order to include it, we just need to put it anywhere after the clearing of the memory from the of this structure. We can put it anywhere. I'm just gonna put it here. So init dot adv data dot p manufacturer specific data equals, and here we have to point once more. I will use and to point toward it, and because this is just a variable of this type and it's not array, so we have to point, so we will use and for this. So here is and manufacturer specific data, and that's it for this. Let's build the code. Okay, it's built, so make sure your device is connected. Click on target, click on connect, and erase all, and now we are going to download it. So let's click on download, and once it's downloaded, we need to see this manufacturer specific data. For that, let's minimize this and open the nRF Connect. Make sure your USB dongle is also connected. So I will open the Bluetooth Low Energy, and here is the device select, and here is the dongle that I have connected with the USB, and now it's turned on, and we have to scan it now. My device has been programmed, so it's advertising now, so let's start scanning. So once I start scanning, here is the SAMBT, which is my device. So let's see, and here we can see the manufacturer specific data. So here you can see the first 2 bytes are basically the vendor's custom ID, and the other bytes are basically the data that I mentioned there, 0x043, 0x054, and so on. So this is the custom data, and you can send this custom data, and you can use it for many different purposes and many specific applications. So it's really useful. If you are new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, and also share my channel among other people, among your friends, so that I can get more subscribers. The code along with the information is available for download. The link of the code is in the description of this video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.